Can I interest you in a low-budget sci-fi film that will probably really melt your brain? Then let's talk about Coherence. Hi, my name's Stu and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. I'm not quite sure when this is coming out. I'm actually filming it just as I had just finished filming for Red One, which is a Christmas film. So I'm keeping this on a back burner for whenever, you know, so if something really crazy happened the week before and I'm not mentioning it right now, that is why, okay, because I'm filming this in the middle of December. Anyway, yes. How did I stumble upon this film? I'll be honest, I had no clue about this film. It came out in 2013. It was not on my radar. I was actually watching Secret Level, which is a TV series on Amazon Prime Video. I will actually also do a review on it, or actually maybe by the time this comes out, I will already have done it. We'll see. Not sure about that yet. But I'm a gamer, and a lot of really good things in that series, Secret Level. Right now I've only seen the first half of it, but in the first half there's an episode of Space Marine, of Warhammer 40,000, and you've got Space Marines in it, I'll put it that way. I'm a Space Marine nerd, and I was watching this Space Marine video on YouTube, someone explaining the lore and stuff, and it was about time travel and scientific concepts, and this film Coherence was name dropped. It's like, if you want to see a really good film that's sort of really mind-bendy, etc., watch Coherence. I was like, never heard of the film, I need to find it, and I need to watch it, so that's how that happened. Yes, let's talk about the plot. The plot is actually very simple, and once I've discussed the plot, I'll talk about what makes this film even more brilliant, but let's talk about the plot first. You've got a group of friends, I forget now, there's 7 or 8 of them. Then there's this dinner party. They all come together for this dinner party. They're all grown-ups, you know, they're all yeah, in the sort of, I don't know, somewhere middle-aged, I would say. They are middle-aged, all of them, basically. Some of them a bit younger, of course. They come together for this dinner party. This comet is flying overhead in space, and it is causing this weird phenomenon, I'll call it. So we've got weird events happening. Our group notices that there's a power cut, all the lights in the neighborhood go out, and we have gradually strange situations happening. You know, obviously if you're in a blackout situation, you're really watching the neighborhood, and suddenly there's a knock on your door, like, who the hell is that? You know, what do they want? And you immediately turn into this fight or flight, I suppose, psychology, where you're like, everyone's suddenly out to get me. And we've got gradually disturbing things happening around the group. It's a bit difficult to talk about this film non-spoilery. So the best non-spoilery description I can give you, if you're like, okay, but I need to know at least something to figure out whether I want to watch the film, is we've got a group of adults, they come together for a dinner party, there's a comet that is causing weird natural scientific phenomena, and things start happening, and it's got to do with time travel and such topics. Time travel, other dimensions, something like that. That's the most basic thing I can tell you, right? Even the official blurb will tell you more than that, so it's not like I'm being greatly spoilery. Yeah, if you need a scientific word to sort of make you interested, pique your interest, is Schrodinger's cat, which, if you're not familiar, is this thought experiment where you put a cat in a box with a vial of poison, and the idea is, while the box is shut, the cat is both dead and alive, because you don't know, you know, what has happened to it. Has it interacted with the poison or not? So basically, reality is twofold, and the only way to actually make reality snap back and be one thing, this is quantum mechanics, I'm really bad at explaining this, quantum physics, sorry. You know, go on online and look for videos of actual scientists to explain this stuff to you. But basically, once you open the box, you then determine what is actually reality. The cat is either alive or dead. And so this film plays with that idea a bit. So that's the most basic thing I can tell you. If you're like, okay, I can take some more spoilers, I'll fill you in. What happens is, we have this comet that suddenly causes there to be a split reality, where our group suddenly discovers that there's one house across the road, it's the only house that's got lights on. For some weird reason, it looks exactly like the house that they live in, and then they discover that there are people in there that look just like them. And that is as far as I'll go, because if I go further than that, it'll really sort of, yeah, give away too much of the plot. But it's a really interesting film. What really blew me away was to find out that the person who wrote and directed it, James Ward Burkett, he thought of a film idea. Was like, right, I want to make a film. It needs to be cheap. I don't want to spend a lot of money. It'll just be in one house, basically, one living room, more or less. And what can you do story-wise to not make it so constraining? You know, what can you do to make it not feel like everyone's just sitting in a living room? What can you do? And so he came up with this hugely incredible, creative story with Schrodinger's cat and science and sort of, you know, dimensions and stuff like that. So okay, let's play a bit with time travel and dimensions and reality being split into two and all these kind of things. And the whole thing was made with a budget of just $50,000, which is incredible, you know, I mean, and it's a really good film. It's a really good film. So and this is actually what happened, he invited this group of actors to his house. This is actually his house. And over the course of just 5 days, they filmed the whole thing. You know, I know a lot of it was improvised. They didn't really have a script. They had obviously a basic outline of the story and all the beats and everything they wanted. But the dialogue is a lot of it improvised, is my understanding. And the whole thing, because of it, feels really natural. It's really interesting. So that really shook me, because it was like, wow, because the interactions people have with each other, they seem very natural, they seem very real, and that is exactly why, because it hasn't been written out. People just sort of naturally reacting to what they see and happening around them. What I really enjoyed beside all of that is the mind-bendiness of it, because it's not quite as crazy as, say, in a film that is usually named in these kind of situations as Primer, which is a science fiction film that involves time travel, and that seems really, really simple at first, but that gets really deep and very confusing for you unless you're a real intelligent person and can grasp these concepts easily. That is one that really, you know, you're like, you have to watch a few videos just to figure out what the hell I just watched and what the correct timeline is, etc. I feel this one isn't quite as bad. It's quite easy to follow, but I will say, I did watch some videos afterwards. You do discover later that there's even more depth to it than you actually first realized with these sort of alternate realities and stuff. And I actually do want to watch it again, because I feel like upon another watching, you really, really get a lot more of the story and understand a lot more connections between the characters, all these kind of things. So it's a really, really cool concept, a really cool film. If you want to watch an unusual sci-fi film, you know, that really you have to pay attention to. And it's not like someone's really explaining a lot of difficult theories. That's not even what I'm talking about. I mean, really paying attention to the characters and what they're doing, and you know, trying to figure out what's going on and who's doing what and who's where and all these kind of things. You're gonna have a lot of fun with this. I thought it was really cool. It's a really crazy concept to think about, kind of scary as well. There is a lot of tension here, and there's a certain horror aspect to it. Because like I say, there's a blackout, and you know, like the people outside, and you know, they look like you, and yeah, I got a lot of vibes from the film Us, if you haven't seen that. I'll leave a link to my review of that at the end of this, actually, because I really enjoyed that film quite a lot. At least I think there's a review to it on the channel. We'll see. If it's not here, then I'll leave a link to another Jordan Peele film, because I really enjoy quite a few of his and have reviewed definitely at least one of them for the channel. But yes, interesting sci-fi on a ridiculously low budget. What a success story, in my opinion. It's got a cult following, and rightly so. Really cool film, Coherence. Go and watch it if it ever pops up for you somewhere, or if you see the Blu-ray somewhere, definitely buy it. It's a film that's really, really cool. I'd love to be in a situation where someone's like, oh yeah, let's just watch a film, and you're like, you want to watch something really interesting, oh yeah, and then you just put Coherence and just watch them going, you know, trying to piece everything together and just that should be a lot of fun. Anyway, that'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about Coherence or Schrodinger's cat, or if you're a science buff, science nerd, you know, explain anything you want to me. I'm always open to learning new things about these things. Absolutely fascinating, you know, as far as my brain will take me. I'm really curious to learn whatever I can. Yes, I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care, bye.